Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and once again it's time for the Texas Gun Vault Poll Question of the Week, a weekly vlog that I put out where I ask you, as my viewers and subscribers, about something that deals with guns, gun culture, politics, current events, the news, or something fun like EDC that I want to get your thoughts and opinions on. And this week's question definitely deals with guns, and more specifically, the sizes of guns. And do you prefer full-size guns, or subcompacts, or compacts, or something smaller than this, or bigger than this, or just pocket carry mouse guns? And why do you like them? What's your preferred size? Now, I know many of you are like me and own guns of all sizes, and not every company clearly defines what a full size or a subcompact is, and we have to kind of compare and contrast because there's no standard definition for the sizes. But I think in general, we all know what I'm talking about when I say a full-size duty gun or a subcompact gun or a pocket mouse gun. But that's what I wanted to ask you guys about. Do you shoot or gravitate towards any size for any particular reasons? I know that I do, and I've had the opportunity to shoot a lot of different guns, and I always seem to gravitate towards one size. But that's what I wanted to find out when it comes to you guys and your personal preferences. So with all that said, let's dive right into this week's poll question. For this week's poll, I wanted to ask you about your preferred or favorite size of pistols. I have been working on range reports of my personal CCW pistols, and I have been shooting my Glock 17, 19, and 26. I personally find that I gravitate and shoot certain sizes better than others and wanted to get your thoughts. What size pistols do you enjoy, carry, and shoot the best? Now, I know when I asked this question, I should have been more specific because many of you that watch my channel, I know, have sizable collections of firearms. And of course, I was going to get the people that said, I shoot them all great, or I like all of them. I know that, but I was wanting to ask you, what is your preferred size? Now, I know when it comes to me, I have a certain size that I like because in my mind, I have this little graph. And on the two axes of the graph, I have the size of the pistol and the shootability of the pistol. Of course, I find that larger handguns for me are more comfortable. I shoot them better. I'm way more accurate. I like the way they fit in my hand, and of course, I love the capacity. I don't shoot subcompacts and smaller very well, and so the shootability of those is a lot less. But when I kind of graph it all out, usually the two lines intersect at one size, and that's typically around the size of a compact, around the size of a Glock 19. Now, I know for some companies, a Glock 19 is a full-size pistol. For others, it's a compact. Some people might even say, depending on the brand and the model, it might even be a subcompact. And that's why I said there's no clear definition of these sizes. However, in general, I like to think of Glocks. So here I have the Glock 17, which I think is pretty much accepted as a full-size duty pistol chambered in 9mm. Then I have my Glock 19, and yeah, this was decked out a little bit shorter stock, shorter slide, and that's the compact size. Then we have the Glock, in this case, the Glock 28, but this is the same size as the Glock 26, and it's a subcompact. You get a lot less capacity, but of course the big advantage to a gun of this size and smaller is that they're much easier to conceal. So really depending on how you're going to use your gun, I think is what you are going to gravitate towards. If really you're buying a gun specifically just as a tool to carry, it's your self-defense pistol, you might gravitate towards something that's a little bit smaller, something that is less shootable, but of course you're getting the added bonus of that it is so much easier to carry, it's lighter, and it's easier to conceal. But then on the other end, you have to admit, if you're going to go to the range, man, shooting a full-size pistol is so much more fun. It's so much more accurate. But carrying a Glock 17, if you're trying to conceal carry this, is obviously much harder. So everything has to be a compromise. There's no perfect gun for every scenario. But for me, that's why I gravitate towards a gun like the Glock 19. And yes, this is one of my personal carry guns, and it really is kind of decked out. But I love this size. It gives me lots of capacity, a large and long sight radius. I'm relatively accurate with it, but it is small enough for me to conceal carry if I'm wearing enough clothing. And yes, as you can see, I own guns of all sizes, but when it comes to the overall compromise, the shootability, size, the Glock 19 compact size for me just seems to work the best. And I think that's also why the Glock 19 is the highest selling firearm in the United States when it comes to production numbers. Now, I know the Glock haters out there don't like me to say it, but when you actually look at the numbers, I believe more Glock 19s are sold in the US than any other pistol. It's just that right size between balance, capacity, size, and everything. Now, of course, if you don't like the Glock 19, you can go to a Smith & Wesson M&P compact and so forth. Many companies offer compact pistols, but generally that size just seems to be the most popular. So I definitely think I fall into that category. But that's what I think about all of this. So let's see what you guys had to say with this week's results. And with 188 votes this week, we have full size, Colt Government 1911, Glock 17, Beretta 92, etc., 40%. Compact, Glock 19, SIG M18, FN 509, etc., 34%. Subcompact, Glock 26, HK VP9 SK, CZ75, Rammy, etc., 8%. Micro or pocket, Walther PPK, SIG P365, Beretta 21, etc., 14%. And something else, explain in the comments, 4%. Now, I have to be very honest with you, I was very surprised by this because I know many people that watch my channels really are into the CCW concealed carry pistol marketplace. And really, I thought the compact is what was going to win because by the sales numbers, that is the most popular size. And I think many of you share many of my same gun philosophies. But I understand why the full size won because these are honestly just the best to shoot. I love full-size guns. Now, if I could only own one gun, I might go with the full size. I mean, I really can carry this. It's a little bit harder, but really you get the maximum gun for your buck. But as I said, I understand why people voted for this, but I really feel like for me personally, the next option, the compact, is just the better way to go. When it comes to the Glock 19 as compared to the Glock 17, I only lose 2 rounds of capacity, but of course I can use larger capacity magazines in this. I still get quite a long sight radius. It's a well-balanced gun. It's not so small that it hurts my hand when I shoot it. It's not too narrow, but it's not too thick. It's that great compromise. And so I would have voted for option 2, which, by the way, I never vote in these polls and I never comment until after I make the video because I never want to skew the results. I also thought that the subcompacts were going to get quite a few more votes than they did because many people are always excited when the new subcompacts come out. They're always wanting to have a better concealed carry gun. And I know people were really excited when guns like the Glock 26 and Glock 27 hit the market. And granted, that was a few decades ago, but still guns like that, like the VP9 SK, everyone had to have one as soon as they came out. But it only got 8%. And that also might be because we have guns in that sub-micro compact size, like the SIG P365, the Springfield Hellcat, and so forth, that really have taken the carry world by storm. But yeah, the subcompact, maybe I just don't see them as much, but I thought people would be more excited about them. And I used to love the subcompacts. I really thought they were just the ultimate carry guns until maybe I got older, got the dad bod, and was able to carry a compact a little bit better. But I really don't think I've bought a subcompact gun or wanted one in quite some time. Then we got the micro or pocket, the Walther PPK, SIG P365, Beretta 21, etc. 14%, that's pretty darn respectable. And I definitely think if you're only going to have a gun for CCW, it's just a tool. Going that route probably is a good option. I mean, you have the P365 XL, which is a pretty darn small gun with what, 13 rounds in it, and those little tiny magazines. That's a lot of firepower that you can put in your pocket, that you can conceal carry in a small holster, you can put in a purse. It's a really small gun with a lot of firepower. And those really are kind of a new thing, and I think are marvels of engineering because it took them a long time to figure out how to make semi-automatic pistols that small, but also that reliable. And then we have something else explained in the comments, and I think the people that voted for this were the people I mentioned in the beginning that were like, oh, you can do all of them. I like all of them. I said, I know, I really, guys, want you just to pick one, but I totally get it. I wasn't clear in the question. But that's what you guys voted for. A little bit of a surprising outcome. I really thought compact was going to win, but full size did this week. But now let's see what you guys had to say with the top rated comments of this week. And with the top rated comment, we have Brian Edgett 2134, who said, I carry a P229 daily and have for about 8 years now. I enjoy the full size P22X for just range time. And honestly, I'm the same way. When it comes to the range, I absolutely love the full size pistols. But when it comes to carry, I gotta go with a compact. But if I could only have one, well, as I said, I guess the full size might win out, but I do shoot the compacts generally the best, and it just seems to be what I gravitate towards. So really, it is a hard choice, but I think Brian and I kind of share the same philosophy of use of our pistols. Then we have 1000 Mountains, who says, I've been carrying my Sig Sauer P365 for about 5 years now, and it's with me 365 days a year, but I must admit, as much as I practice with it, I still can't shoot it as accurate and fast as I shoot my HK VP9 and other 5-inch guns that I own. It's just extremely comfortable to carry because of size and weight compared to the others. And he brings up a great point. And so for his graph, he goes more towards the size as compared to the shootability. And one of the things I will tell you that's very frustrating as a content creator here on YouTube when I review guns, many times when I shoot the small subcompact pistols, I don't shoot them as well as I do the larger counterparts. And of course, people will always say in those range reports that I suck, I'm a terrible shot, I shouldn't review guns, I gotta go get training, all that kind of nonsense. But I've honestly found that the smaller guns just are harder to shoot. And as an average gun guy, I feel like many of you might experience that as well. I know there's always going to be the people that say, you need to go check out this YouTuber's channel. He can make a 500-yard shot with that Glock 28 and ring the steel every time. Great. I'm not that type of shooter. And I'm sure with enough time, enough practice, and enough talent, it's possible. But I'm just an average gun guy. And it's just one of those frustrating things. But obviously, his graph, he cares more about the concealability more than the comfort when it comes to his carry gun. Then we have Chris Lang 5659, who says, I've been carrying a 1911 for a while now. I shoot it the best, big and heavy, but with a decent holster, doable. And I have to say, I'm pretty darn impressed. I've tried to carry the 5-inch government-sized 1911s, and honestly, they're just a little bit too long. They just don't carry well for me. I've always found the little bit shorter barrels around the compact is just about perfect. But if you can handle a 1911, and if you're going to conceal carry it and you can do it, well, more power to you. And I am really, really impressed by that. But of course, this has to go also with body type and the type of holster that you're using and the type of clothing that you typically wear. Then we have Drew Alexander Videography, who says, first gun purchase ever was a SIG P226 Mark 25 almost 11 years ago and have been carrying it inside the waistband ever since. I shoot it really well. And that is a full-size gun. And let me tell you, for your first gun, man, that is an awesome gun. I love the Mark 25. That is one of my favorite P226s. So congratulations for that amazing and awesome first purchase. That's also a really thick gun. So you must have a very nice setup and you must wear a lot of heavier clothing, or so I would assume, because for me, a gun of that width, I have to be wearing something kind of baggy to make sure I'm going to conceal it properly. Then finally, we have Stevo5459, who said, I'm waiting on a limited run London Bridge tactical thigh rig for my HK Mark 23. Original company that made these for the SOCOM guys that actually carry these. Complete with suppressor pouch. Go big or go home, I always say. Most days, I'm a staccato C2 guy. The only small pistol that works incredibly well for me is my East German Makarov. And all those guns are awesome, but man, I could not even imagine carrying a Mark 23. Those things are gigantic. even for a 45 pistol. But I'm really happy to hear that your East German Makarov shoots really well too. I have not been super accurate with those, and the tinier the gun, I just don't shoot them as well. So it seems like you have a nice setup depending on what you are going to be wearing, what you want to carry, but I'd really like to see some pictures of that Mark 23 being carried, and if you can carry that successfully and conceal carry it. Unless you're going to open carry it, maybe that's a whole different story. But yeah, it sounds like you love your Mark 23 and the gigantic guns. But for me personally, I'm all about the compacts. And this is going to be another poll that maybe I'm not in the majority on. I like my compact guns, even with my larger hands. I just shoot them the best, and they're the best balanced guns. But I love the full size. I just like the bigger guns. The smaller guns I just tended away from for the past few years. But that's what I think about this, what you guys think about this, and I love having these conversations. And you guys really surprised me, because I thought more of you would like to carry the guns that I like to carry, like a Glock 19. So that is the Texas Gun Vault poll question of the week, and if you would like to participate in next week's poll, please go to the community tab of my YouTube channel. I will also post a link in the description and as a pinned comment in this video. Go over there and see what the topic is about. Make sure you vote and comment and like other people's comments so we can get the top rated comments of the week. So it looks like the compacts did not win, but the full sizes did. But hey, I like them both. So as always, thanks for watching.